7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I was wrong because Caleb's over and Seb's well behind. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now. Hang on. Good. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now. So Seb, I think, was 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. That was pretty good, boys. 15, 14. So Caleb, your bar's already on the line. So you can't do a speed build from that position without reaching. 7, 6, 4, 3. I have the time as being now. So we're consistently speed building too early, and that's just because we're used to shooting on, bearing down, reaching, waiting for the gun, and then going up, or even turning out just before the gun but just reaching on the line. And that's why we see that in most of these earlier ones, you're shooting over the line once I banned reaching, because you're used to shooting on too early, and we haven't got that time on distance to the line quite yet. 30. So we're set up way further back this time. So let's see how we go with that. If we factor that in enough or not, we'll soon see. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now! And 30 seconds again. So now we've set ourselves way further back. I wouldn't have thought that was the solution. I thought you were set up about right last time. You just went for the line too early. But we'll see how this goes. Actually, in a big fleet, in the middle of the line, that's about how far back everyone would set up. And then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now. Not bad, Caleb. So I was quarter of a boat length back. Okay, 30. So this is a better distance to be set up from the line. 20, 19. So now it's about not speed building too early. So here you're probably 5 to 8 seconds away before you're going on like 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now. Okay. Seb, you were about right. Caleb, you were over. Caleb, you did a really nice speed build though. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now. Great. That was good, Caleb. Quarter boat length back. So Caleb, that was good. Seb, you're... So what we see in this one is because you keep being early, your solution was to go set up further back. But the further back you set up from the line, the harder it's going to be to judge the time on distance. The problem wasn't that you were set up too close. It was that you were used to shooting on early, reaching on the line, and going up on the gun. And what we're trying to learn to do is shoot on when we're racing to the line. Now, it's hard to practice setup with just two of you because where you set up is actually very dependent on the fleet. What we're actually trying to learn is awareness of where the fleet's set up from the line. So if the fleet's set up super close and it's a black flag, you can be aware and not put yourself over the line. If the fleet's set up super far back, I would recommend setting up back with them, because if you set up forward of the fleet, you're just going to drag them up and show them where the line is. The trick is when the fleet does set up really far back from the line, to know it and trust your time and distance, and that's when you use this skill and shoot on earlier than the fleet. too far, not too close. 4, 3, 2, 1, now. So that was really good by Seb, maybe a little back by Caleb. 12, 11, 10, there it is, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay. I think that was just perfect by Seb, but definitely over by Caleb. We normally are. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, perfect by Caleb. 2 seconds, 1 and 2 by Seb. Late. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, Caleb perfect, Seb wants 2 late. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, 7, 6, 5, nice Seb. 3, 2, 1. Now. Wow, that was good, guys. I think you're both within quarter of a boat length. Okay, so what the video is not showing, but what I could see from the coach boat, is your windward tailtails fluttering, so you're kind of pinching. Okay, so Caleb, you have a funny habit sometimes of being undersheeted but having your windward tailtail turning. Those two things should never really happen at the same time unless you're very overpowered, which you're not. You're definitely not. So you shouldn't be in a low mode with your windward tailtail turning, because that suggests you're going low driving, trying to get speed, but then if you're also pinching, then there's no point in being eased. Some of the basics from this stuff, a boat that is going fast, normally looking from behind, their mast is staying nice and upright and not tipping back and forth with the waves. So one of the key things we talked about to achieve this is keeping locked in with the boat all the time. People tend to sit all the way up and go loose and not connected with the boat, and every time there's a wave or a puff, then they throw their weight out and kind of mistime it. And it looks like they're doing a whole lot, but not achieving much. So sometimes less is more. Some of the faster people don't look like they're doing much, but they're actually working a lot harder because their core's locked in the whole time. Their shoulders are down, so they're always connected, and they're just doing the little movements to counteract those waves and keep the boat moving the whole time. I'll send you the link to Nick Johnson doing this really well. We also talked about whenever we had a bit of power, squeezing the sheet on and taking that and turning it to height. When you see a boat sailing higher than you, they're not just normally physically pointing higher than you. They're just taking every little bit they have when they have it. Every time they feel good, they're just squeezing on, taking a touch, and then coming back down when it doesn't feel good. They're not physically pointing the boat high, they're just making all the little gains over the beat. Alright, look how much your sail actually flaps through this tack. So as you're going into the tack, because your body leans in, what happens is your hand holding the main sheet goes into towards the ratchet block, effectively easing your sail. Now going through the tack, you either want to be squeezing it on to help turn the boat up into the wind, or at bare minimum at least holding it in the same place. So that's the point where your body's moving in and easing the sheet. Now by not squeezing it on, you have to bear down further, as you can see there, before the sail fills. You end up oversteering through your tack and using more rudder. So a quick solution to stop it easing it all is to hold it lower down closer to the ratchet, so as you lean in, that effect is lessened. But the best solution is to actually be gently squeezing your sheet on to help steer the boat into the tack anyway. So Caleb was doing quite a nice job of sheeting his sail in, going into the tack, and you can see that as the sail set nicely from one side to the other. The area for you to work on, Caleb, is the timing going into the tack of when you throw your shoulders out. You tend to do this too early. I thought it was a result of trying to do too much. Pre-roll, squeezing the sheet, throwing shoulders out. And I think you should prioritise getting the things that are going to make your tack good. Prioritise getting them right first. And the timing is the most important thing, so I'd focus on that, especially the timing of throwing your shoulders out to hit the roll. So downwind, we focused a lot on the boat trim, fore and aft, using our body weight. Now, I think this is crucial in Optimist because you've got a pretty unfortunate situation. Your bows are square, and squares are not fast at pushing water. So keeping that bow perfectly trimmed all the time can require going as far back as the back corner and forward up with our weight almost over the airbag. You're never going to be at risk of getting a yellow flag unless you are stopping suddenly. Okay, it's a sudden stop, that's the ooch, but moving fore and aft is just trimming. We also talked a bit about putting our weight in once we're on a wave to keep that boat flat. Now, this is because once you're surfing, the weight of the wind can come out of the sail, and then the ideal surface area, so one, you need to move in or the boat will rock over on top of you and you'll have to push helm away because it will steer down and that's slow. But also, as you can see here, helm away. Once you're surfing a wave, that flat bottom of the Optimist is the fastest surface to have on the water. Like a surfer, you don't see them rocking their board over. So once you're on that wave, getting your weight in and more central. So having your, like, I have my back leg ready so I can quickly transfer my weight onto that and get it in. Now fore and aft trim, it's all about feel. Like we saw you go out on Sunday and try to do exactly what you do on Saturday, but it wasn't exactly the same conditions. So it's about feeling the wind, the waves, what's my best angle to be going down the waves, how much do I need to be moving, how fast, and every wave, it's just about feeling it and moving to keep it completely perfect. It takes a long time and a lot of hours, but we've got the base idea there now, so it's just about working on that, and it's all about feel, timing, keeping the boat perfectly trimmed all the time to make every inch we can downwind. Okay, light air upwind. Now this didn't come out as well as I wanted, but I asked Seb to move his tiller a lot, like you guys often do, so you could see the turbulence coming off the rudder. It doesn't show as well as I'd like, but your Opti is quite a short boat with quite a rake rudder, and helm movement is most of the time going to be slowing you down. The exception is under like 4, maybe even 3, probably under 3 knots, where it's going to accelerate you, but that is sculling, so that is actually cheating anyway. So most of the time we're using too much helm and we're not using the sheet at all. So I'd rather you use the sheet to steer, or at least assist the steering and follow with a little bit of helm if you need to. That's going to help you keep more speed. Okay, so what I'm going to show you here is 2 examples. First, Caleb, this is when you had your hand on the center case. I know in light airs that feels really good and it's quite good for stabilizing and you can lean your weight there and stuff. Second, here's the example once you have your hand off the centerboard case. The only flaw with having your hand on the centerboard case, even though it seems like a great stable position, is you're using it at the expense of doing any sheeting because your hand's sitting there with your main sheet in it and you're not trimming at all. Now in these light airs, I think little trims are pretty crucial to keeping max speed because never are 2 seconds the same. The waves, the wind, it's always changing. Every time I lose a little bit of speed, I just do a gentle ease. You come down for a bit of speed, and every time I feel, a bit of flat water or it feels good, you a couple of clicks on, take that little bit of height. Or if the little telltale turns, instead of just jamming the helm away, a little ease, take the speed first, and sheet on and take it up. So just using that sheet to keep max speed all the time. So Caleb had a much better position in the boat. He was able to keep his shoulders up. The reason I think that's important, this is much more freer. You've got much better feel, and you're much more in touch with your boat. As soon as you start rolling your shoulders in, you feel underpowered, so you start going in more, trying to heel the boat to leeward. You start pinching, the boat starts slipping sideways, and you feel low and slow, and you have no feel. So again, you can see quite a lot of rudder movement here, Seb. So part of the problem, Seb, was you were actually pinching in that lighter winds and a little bit of chop. Keeping both telltales flying is normally pretty key. You normally can't hold high or inside the telltales for long before you start feeling the boat lose speed, which is when you need to come down. But once you were driving low, you're actually able to keep your shoulders out in a much nicer, freer position. So if I was to give you some basics of upwind, that would probably get you going pretty good in this very, very light air. I'll be thinking about minimal helm movement, and whenever you're near a boat in a race or in a pack, that's when you get nervous, you start wiggling a lot. So minimal helm movement is going to be one of your first ones. Keeping flow and speed over the tatas, not stalling high, would be the next one. And third one would just be constantly thinking about trimming my main sheet tiny bit to keep max speed.